Ugh. Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. I guess it's Tuesday the 22nd of July and I am just getting started. Like, I've done my workout, done my devotional, all that stuff, and now I'm thinking about what I'm going to do today. And honestly, I've been so intimidated by the whole idea of distance learning that I just kind of haven't done it. So we go back to trainings next week for teachers, and I really haven't wrapped my head around it. So that's what I'm going to focus on, at least for the first part of today. I do have a dentist appointment later today, so we'll see. I'm just gonna get started and see if there's anything interesting to share. So I stopped to make myself it's a protein shake. It's got some kind of plant-based protein in it. It is really nasty. It's supposed to be vanilla chai. I think I'm gonna throw it out. It's nasty. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like it. Drink something else. No, can't do it. Can't do it. Ugh. Glad I just got the sample pack. I don't think I could have handled anything more. So, other than that, I have been working on my computer. I've been working on figuring out my digital class syllabus because I need to wrap my head around how this class is going to work, and that means figuring out things like what the schedule is going to be. So my tentative schedule, I've got Monday through Sunday, because I know that a lot of students, when they're working online, need their parents to help them over the weekend. So I've got everything, all the assignments opening up on Monday and all of them being due on Sunday. And I want to try and have a live meeting every single day at a different time. We'll see if that actually works. I also am putting my office hours, so there will be no office hours on Saturday and Sunday, but every other day they'll be from 8:30 to 4. However, I might move those back a little bit to like maybe 8 o'clock, not sure. Anyway, I want to have 2 discussion posts a week, and so that's the main thing. I already put like my expectations for live meetings. Things like they need to be under adult supervision. They need to be staying the entire time. They don't need to be giving us a tour through the house. It's a big one. So I'm just gonna continue working on that, and when I'm done, I'll probably go through the whole thing on my screen. So I'll probably screencastify or something, but we'll see. So I really feel obligated to drink this because I made it and I bought it, and I mean, there are way worse things, but it's not good. Anyway, I think I'm gonna, I don't know, haven't figured out about that, but I'm gonna continue with this. So here we go. All right, well, I had to take a break from my schoolwork because I gotta go get my teeth cleaned. Hopefully they'll be nice and white after this. So I'm gonna head out. See you later. All right, so we have rain. It has been a long time since we actually had rain, and look what it did. It filled up that fire pit. I say it with quotations, and my bins. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of rain. These eggplant are definitely the star of the show. This is actual globe eggplant. The other ones over there are the Chinese eggplant. I still get some strawberries off of this every once in a while. Have not got any peppers, but they're liking this rain, I can tell. My various and sundry, my weird pumpkins that are just like, look like they're dying, but they keep growing out. Don't even know. Beautiful rose, everything's liking this rain. It's just happy. Oh, the other star of the show is that okra. Super good. I get a couple okra every day. Really like that. So I've actually been thinking a lot about what I'm gonna do for the fall in the garden, because I think that's gonna be a better growing season for me. I've had some successes. So I need to come back out again. I've had some successes. I've gotten a couple watermelon that were really good. The okra. My pomegranate is getting so close. Really thrilled. So I love the rain. It just sounds so nice listening to it. Definitely enjoying. Zinnias all falling over. Don't get wet, Leslie. My husband and I are going on a keto journey because we both really need to lose weight. So my breakfast this morning, I made a whole pan of this, but it's basically shredded zucchini, sausage, and egg, cheese, cream cheese, baked. And so I'm gonna have one of this, and then I'm gonna put some avocado and sprouts on it. So that's my breakfast. Gonna take a walk. It is a lot cooler than it has been. Sorry, I had to avoid a tax. Sorry, I had to avoid a cactus. It's much cooler. We've had rain. It's like in the 70s. It's very humid, which is very unusual in Tucson. But where are you going? Taking the puppy for a walk because he hasn't had one since the pavement is so hot it would actually burn his feet most days. But today's perfect. So I'm gonna keep walking. Okay, we just got back from our walk and we were starting to feel the droplets, and now look at that. We just got a severe weather warning, and oh my goodness, that's quite the downpour. So today is Thursday, the 23rd of July. As you saw this morning, it started raining, so that's why it's kind of like funky lighting. Also, you saw the walk and how it ended in rain. I ended up not getting soaked, but it was close. Anyway, I'm going to start working again on my school syllabus, class handbook, digital learning plan. Any of those 3 titles would work. And I've got most of it done. I just need to refine just a couple more things, and then I think I can be finished with that and move on to actually creating content. I really I want to do a lot of videos in my classroom, which is not ready yet. This is the problem with being the last on the list for cleaning and waxing. Really not sure if I will be able to get into my classroom until next week, and we are going back as teachers for all of our trainings and everything on the 30th. So we'll see. I am going to try and get as many things as I can done here. I know we're going back digitally. That's what our district has decided to do. But with that in mind, there's a lot of students who still don't have internet access, device access. Our school ordered Chromebooks for, I think, trying to go 1-to-1, but they're on back order. There's so many schools doing this that literally we have to wait until there's enough Chromebooks to send us. So who knows when that's going to be. It's crazy. I feel for my school, because I know I was talking to somebody, and literally they have spent thousands of dollars, like thousands of dollars, on getting sanitizing equipment, on getting new desks so that everything can be uniform, on getting Chromebooks, all of this stuff for in-person learning, and we're not sure if the governor is going to decide to push it back. And they did that because our population is just so low economically that online learning and digital learning is not very equitable. So these are the challenges that we're all facing, and we're just trying to get through it. So I think that's all I have to say for right now. I'm going to start working. Well, good morning. It is Friday, the 24th of July, and I went on my walk this morning, took my shower, so my hair is still drying and it's quite poofy. Since it's still very gray out, so the temperature when I went on my walk was around 77. I think it was 80 by the time I got back, and did some cleaning around the house, and now I'm trying to get my mojo going again today for working on schoolwork. But I have been so while I'm walking, I'm listening to a book on tape, or a book, an audio book, and it's called it's the book Amazing Grace about William Wilberforce by Eric Metaxas. And I don't know if any of you have ever read that book, but I am really enjoying it. I like Eric Metaxas as a writer. Anyway, I read his Dietrich Bonhoeffer book, and it's just right now I was listening because in the book right now, Wilberforce is just beginning his abolitionist work, and Eric Metaxas does a really good job of building an idea of what the context, what the world was like at the time, And I really like that, and it's really something that it's a period in history that I didn't have a whole lot of information about, and it's heartbreaking, especially as he describes like the Midway Pass, or I think it's the Midway Passage. Now I'm not remembering whether I've got that right. The mid lane passage. Anyway, the part of the slave trade where people were stuffed into the ships and taken to the West Indies and everything, and as he describes all the horrors of it, it's just heartbreaking, and it's really hard to hear the things that happens. But anyway, that's where I've been listening to it all morning, so it's really on my mind, and I would highly suggest that if you like to read historical books or biographies, I think Eric Metaxas' Amazing Grace about William Wilberforce is quite good. I also liked his book, The Cost of Discipleship, about Dietrich Bonhoeffer, which was excellent, really good. So I actually have like 3 or 4 books going, because I'm reading Love and Logic for Teaching with Love and Logic by David Funk, and I can't remember the name of the authors right now. I'm reading that, and I'm also reading what's the other one I'm reading? It's been a little while since I read it, so I think I'm sorry. Brain completely. I'm also reading the CJ Reynolds Teach Your Class Off, which is also excellent. It's just I haven't looked at it in like a couple days, so brain forgot. But I'm reading those 3 books right now. I kind of like ping pong back and forth between them, and all very good books. I will say the Teaching with Love and Logic is a little dense sometimes. I think that if I find a more updated version, I will definitely get that, because it's just a little bit dense. I like the principles. I don't particularly like the writing style. But anyway, so I do need to actually get to work today. We're having some issues. So let's see. Yesterday, Governor Ducey of Arizona did a press conference where he basically, it was very kind of hard to pull out what actually the action points were, but basically August 7th the state will release the benchmarks for safe in-person opening, and then each district will be able to decide whether they meet those benchmarks and can start in-person teaching. So as of now, because we're getting emails from principals and everything, and as of now, our tentative date is still August 17th, but just like, it's tentative. It depends on what the benchmarks are and what the district feeling is. So we'll see how that goes. I am planning for distance learning with the idea in mind that I can pivot and do in-person pretty easily from there, because that's what I've been doing for so long. So I figure I should probably put the majority of my effort and brain power into the new thing that I'm not used to doing and getting that set up, because I know that we will be doing some distance learning whether or not we open for in-person, because we've already got, I think it's 12 point something percent of our 4th graders whose parents have opted for distance learning. We're not doing a a staggered or different schedule. We pretty much ruled that out, at least as far as I know. But there are some who've already opted for distance learning for the entire quarter, whatever the governor decides. So I know I've got to do it. So that's what I'm starting with. And with that in mind, I've put together a couple things. I did a lot of surfing Teachers Pay Teachers yesterday, and there are some really good resources there. Definitely should check that out, because there are some really good distance learning resources, Google Classroom resources that I saw for pretty much every grade level. So I'll show you what those are in a minute. So I have been working on my Google Classroom this last couple days, and you can kind of see I've got a customized background. I basically made this in PowerPoint with Bitmoji and some different clip art. Not a big deal. I've also been working on classwork. So I created topics, and so I've got them by weeks. So the first week is August 6th through August 7th, and these are all the assignments that I have scheduled. So I'm working on getting students signed into ReadWorks. I've given them instructions on a PDF and also a Google form quiz that just has 2 questions. Did you sign into ReadWorks, and what was the name of the first assignment? So that's just kind of to give a little bit more accountability. I have this Google Slides writing, and they're going to put a picture into the Google Slides and write about what they want their future to look like. I found this on Teachers Pay Teachers. I did not make this myself. And let's see. I've got an All About Me game, which is very early childhood, early grades type of thing, but what I want them to do is practice the click and drag in Google Slides, because there is a lot of click and drag. So being able to pull their name over and put it up and spell their name out, that kind of thing. So I've got that as kind of first day type things. Just clicking around trying to make it go up. Then these 2 are both surveys that I found on all of these things except for the ReadWorks I found on Teachers Pay Teachers. So I've got a survey for the students, which is a Google form, and I also have a survey for the parents, which is a Google form, and I tried to make it this is on, like I said, it's on Teachers Pay Teachers. You can just search the name Back to School Parent Survey or Student Summer 2020, and you can find these on Teachers Pay Teachers. Oh goodness. This is not easy. So that's basically things that I've been doing, and I'm glad that I'm getting this much done. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how I would go over my syllabus with everyone, and because there's a lot of information about my school and about myself that I don't particularly want to share on YouTube. So I just was watching the Happy Biologist Hannah. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to look for what the name of that. Anyway, she does this with her hand. I started doing it. Anyway, so what I figured I'd do is I'd just kind of tell you what I put on the syllabus / parent handbook. Not entirely sure what you call that. So the first page of the syllabus has meet your teacher, and I just put a little bit of a explanation about myself. I might take a picture and put it up there. If I do, it'll be somewhere here. I did get my new camera, by the way. I am filming on a Canon Vixia camcorder, which I think it's really cool, but I haven't yet figured out all about it. So anyway, so the first page has it has like my favorites, it has my greatest goal, it has a little greeting from me, and then the next page is going to be all about how I'm doing remote learning. So I'm looking over to the side to it so that I can kind of talk. So I kind of tried to build it up and make it seem more fun. So I kind of outlined that for our class, remote learning will include watching video lessons to learn new concepts, and I kind of add in the fun part is that you can pause and rewatch points that you didn't get. And then we will also have live video meetings where we talk about what we are learning and build our classroom community. Students will complete subject assignments on Google Classroom and test their learning with Google quizzes. And I added in another like little fun point. The nice thing is it doesn't matter what time of day or night or what comfy spot they pick, since they can work on their assignments at home. It's a silver lining. Skills practice will happen on fun learning websites like Prodigy and ReadWorks, and I need to add in Spelling City because I forgot about that. Class discussions will be a big part of promoting socialization and community, and I left a spot at the bottom of this page for all the different logins to Google Mail, Google Classroom, Class Dojo, and Prodigy, and I did add Spelling City to that part. So then the next page, I outlined the expectations for live classroom meetings. So I put that the meetings need to be under adult supervision. You need to have headphones or earbuds with a mic if background is noisy. Stay in one place. Stay the whole meeting. It's not a time for watching other programs, because I did have a student who during the spring would put us all on mute and then she would watch a show, and I knew because I could override the mute and I would hear the show in the background. So it's not a time for interrupting the class, which I also had all these things. So the spring was kind of a good time to figure out what some of the issues were going to be. And then I have some expectations for how many live meetings, and my first thing is students may attend as many live meetings as they would like, but they must attend at least, and here I'm going to have to work on this because I've been thinking about how much flexibility, but my preference would be 2. What I would like them to do is have to attend one of my Monday meetings and one other meeting throughout the week. And that's my preference. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to say that's the expectation, but for right now, that's what it is. I'm figuring on a digital learning schedule. So Monday, I've got all the assignments dropping or opening up in Google Classroom. And the first discussion topic of the week opens. I want to have discussion topics, and that's how I want to do my read aloud, because last spring when I did my read alouds, nobody watched them. Like literally nobody. I ended up stopping because nobody watched them. So I want to tie my discussion topics to my read alouds so that they'll actually be involved in the read alouds, because that's important. So there's going to be one discussion topic opening on Monday, and that's going to run until Wednesday. I'm also going to have a morning and an afternoon live meeting, either Zoom or Google Meets. I haven't decided yet. I'm more familiar with Zoom right now, but Google Meets will probably be the thing since it's tied to Google Classroom. I put my office hours every day, Monday through Friday, as 8:30 to 4. I'm not sure if that's going to change. Tuesday, I'm going to do a live meeting. Wednesday, I'm going to the first discussion topic is due and the second discussion topic opens. I'm going to have a live meeting in the morning. Thursday, a live meeting in the afternoon. Friday, second discussion topic is going to be due. That's the only thing that I'm going to have due on Friday. I'm going to do a live meeting in the morning, and then everything is due, all the assignments except for discussion topics are due on Sunday. So hopefully they can have parents look over them if they want them to, because something I noticed last spring was some people really wanted to work on the weekends. So if that's the way they want to do it, that's okay. The next page on the syllabus is just talking about the different kinds of assignments. So what Google assignments will be, they'll be tied to the video lessons. They'll need to be completed on either Google Slides or Google Docs, and if you can't, so I put in a point here that because Google Slides, Google Docs are internet based, remember that the work must be saved. I had this issue in the cloud or drive before you finish. If your internet connection is slow, you need to double check that your work is saved, because I would have students who had really slow internet who would complete the assignment and then they'd submit it and it hadn't saved, so all I got was or they'd leave the internet or they'd go offline or something, I don't know, but I didn't get anything on the slide or the doc. Never mind, that's the vacuum beeping. It occasionally wants to have attention if you hear the bleeping. It's gonna do it 3 times. The last thing I wanted to say about Google assignments was really to come down a little bit strict and say that missing or illegible work would be counted as a 0 and would count against the grade, because I had so much missing work. Late work, on the other hand, and I put it in this, can be up to 70% of what it originally would have been. Google quizzes are going to be, the main things I said were just complete read directions, complete all questions, double check that your answers are correct, submit only when you are sure that you did your best work. Going back to last spring, I had students who would literally open up the quiz and submit it without answering any questions. Yeah, that's a thing, and it drives me nuts. But so that's going to be something I work on this fall. Discussion topics. There are 2 discussion questions every week. Study materials related to our discussion. Make 1 discussion comment for each discussion question. Make at least 1 reply to a classmate's discussion comment. So I want to use this as a time for them to work on interacting and thinking about what the discussion is about, which will be our read-alouds, mostly. I have on here alternatives for when Google doesn't work. So answer questions and show work by writing a comment on the assignment. I noticed that students who had trouble with the Google Slides could still do comments. Do your work in an email message. do your work on paper and send a very clear picture. So those are all options, and I'm going to go over this with the students and the parents. So that was the next slide. The next one is all about studying. I made a point, because we've had this issue. Parents are encouraged to help their students with researching, prompting, and editing their work, but the majority of the work should be left to the student. And I also gave a list of supplies that they should probably have at home: loose paper, pencils, crayons, pens, all of that. Ways to stay in contact. I gave all of my different contact points: Class Dojo, email, comments, the school phone. I'm not comfortable giving them my phone number, and live meetings, so they can ask for a live meeting. So all of those things are points of contact. The next page is all about grades. So at least at this point, I've got it set up for classroom assignments like Google Slides and Doc assignments being 60% of the grade, tests of any kind being 20%, and then skill building would be like the ReadWorks and the Spelling City and the Prodigy. Those things are going to be 10%, and discussion participation and live meeting participation are going to be the other 10%. I'm not super strict on this, but I like to bring it up at the beginning of the year to give a context to grades for parents, and kind of it's not a hard and fast rule, but it is something that I like to have at least to guide grading. And then parents can sign up on Google Classroom to check on student progress and grades, as well as seeing assignments and quizzes each week. That's something I'm going to push and see if I can get parents to do, because even my in-person students are going to be doing Google Classroom assignments. And then the last thing I have is a parent contract, where I basically list all the key points that I put in the syllabus, and I have them, they fill in their name, understand that educating a child requires partnership between the student and the student's family guardians and the teacher. We all need to work together for the goal of a successful school year. They fill in their name, have read the information and expectations provided in the handbook regarding, and then I list all my stuff. And I agree that these policies are in the best interest of my student. Sign and date. Because I know it's kind of one of those things that doesn't seem like it should be, like I'm really pushing this, but I really want them to know ahead of time. I don't like to be, having a conversation later on in the year where they're like, well, you never said this. And I have had those in the past, and now I'm very much like, it's in page 3, paragraph 2 of the handbook that I said that I had this policy. And this is my 6th year. It's a very different teacher right now in my 6th year than it was in my 1st or even my 3rd. So I definitely think that the syllabus or the expectations for your class at the beginning of the year is important and will help a lot with you keeping accountable, and also parents and students being accountable. So if you have the chance, you should definitely write it down. I use a very simple template. I just basically I use PowerPoint because it's easy to manipulate things. I just make boxes and put a title at the top of the box and put what I want to talk about in it, and then like that. I don't like making it like a sheet of text because that's boring and you're going to have a lot of interest lost, but just kind of, it doesn't have to be super fancy. Mine is not super fancy, and it's black and white because our school doesn't do color printing. I'm probably going to take all of this information and put it into a digital template that's a little bit more colorful. There's lots of them on Teachers Pay Teachers. I saw a free syllabus one that I might, if I remember, I might link. If I don't, you can comment and ask me to link it. So I think that's all I wanted to say about the syllabus. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It was kind of piecemeal because the week has been kind of piecemeal. I really am looking forward to getting back into my classroom because I really want to set it up and start taking video in there. Just have to wait for it to be ready. If you have been enjoying this content and would like to see more, please hit subscribe. If you have a question or if you have a comment, please comment. And if you'd give this a thumbs up, that'd be awesome as well. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.